Hi, everybody. Welcome to Volume 2, Issue 2 of Mask's Neighbourhood. We are back with the Gridlock Guardians in Tri-Town, dealing with local superhero problems, including collapsing warehouses, kidnapped other superheroes, rivalries, and emotional trauma. And that's all just within an hour and a half of the first session. So, as we're playing on the Gauntlet, we are playing under its inclusivity policy, which is available to see on gauntletrpg.com. We are playing using safety and support tools. We are using the Axe card as an emergency brake, script change to allow people to change things, and lines and veils, which we just reviewed before we started playing. All of these are open source RPG safety tools which can be easily found, but drop me a message if you want to find them. We will be concluding the session with Stars and Wishes, which is a cooldown phase to help us think about what we really enjoyed in the game and what we're looking to see more of next time. Other than that, I am joined by our four heroes: Dynamic, played by Will; Nox, played by Lara; the Grey Ghost 2, played by Gerwin; and Paladin, formerly known as Quiver, played by Pavel. Last time, we found ourselves in a scenario where, as I say, the warehouse that Bluebird had tried to get into was destroyed. She is missing. Grey Ghost has fled the team, not in pursuit, whilst Dynamic and Paladin were potentially going to use Paladin's new contacts at Precinct 23 to see if they can track down Beatdown, who they believe has captured and taken Bluebird. I'd like to open with that, I think. So, Dynamic and Paladin, where did you go after that climatic rooftop scene at the end of issue 1 of this volume?
So, Cyrus, you gotta have Beatdown. Do the cops know anything about this guy? Where do we find him?
Well, first time let me call in and see what CTV department or I don't know other guys have on them, and we'll see. And because you asked, I think we could be stealing the dogs. Maybe there is a cool looking glass building just like overlooking the piers or something like this. So we are there on the rooftop, not at the explosion site, on the rooftop.
Cool. So, yeah, I think Precinct 23 forces have probably and others have arrived to the explosion anyway, right? Because
I like that.
Are,
if we could be in the sort of like the cordon kind of thing, like having our superhero drama like in the middle of all these cops doing their work.
Okay. Yeah. So Paladin will go on the comms and say, Precinct 23, this is Paladin. I request information on the whereabouts of the one called Beatdown. It's urgent.
To which I believe the response back from...
I do have a move for it if you want me to roll.
Yeah, we'll just a roll paper before we hit the move, I think is my hope here. But Kate Billingsby, Inspector Kate Billingsby now, says, if you think I'm giving you anything, shall you explain how the hell you managed to destroy an entire building? You've got another thing coming. Said, meet me down in the cordon now.
Yes, Inspector.
That's a real funny way of saying foiled a super terrorist plot within Union City, destroyed a building.
She isn't asking thinking about this. She's asking about my encounter with some of the goons and the Rakshasa.
You destroyed 2 buildings.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't
high five.
I wasn't expect. Yeah, I like look at your high five, but I'm not in like the mood, and I wasn't really expecting this. Things happened, so I will go meet with the inspector, and hopefully after I explain myself, she has something. So I will get back to you unless you want to go with me. I'm not sure how this will go.
I mean, mainly because I don't have anything pressing I want to do myself. I would go with you. Because this seems to be the best lead for Beatdown, beyond randomly beating down the sorted criminal figures in Union City.
Yeah. So let's go. Wherever the corn is, I think that's where she wanted to meet. So is it like
It's just
building, a
important. So
restaurant?
yeah, the police lines are up. There's you're allowed through. Billingsby has a coffee mug that she's sipping as you arrive, and she turns around and looks at the both of you and says, "Paladin," and then sees Dynamic. Dynamic's here. That explains why there was such a big explosion.
Well, I stand by my work.
She's
Inspector.
telling you who you are.
Yeah, what is it?
Sorry.
And what is she? How is she telling me?
She's telling you that you're a bit of a menace in her, or at least not.
I know what you mean.
You're the one who leaves alone, so I think she's going to put your danger up and your mundane. Well, your danger up and your savior down is the plan.
That's fine by me.
Okay. Do you want to change your labels there?
Yeah. Although, could I make the argument that perhaps it's freak instead?
You want to put your freak up or your...
Yeah, do the freak up, just because as far as I understand correctly, freak is more the kind of like you destroy things by accident, and danger is more like the
yeah. Okay,
I'm happy.
I'm happy to accept that if you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Paladin will do a short salute. Inspector, yes, I was in the alley apprehending the suspects, and oh my God, does he want to say what he did? Yeah, and he's going to say, I'm responsible. I overreacted, and yes, the building got destroyed. It's all my fault. I just then started the pursuit after Rakshasa, and yes, but the building destruction is all my fault. I will try to control my abilities better next time. I hope nobody was injured in that accident.
Broken windows, bit of shrapnel. It'll be in the papers this morning for sure. Okay, and on the news channels. Councillor, so Alderman Wilson is already up in arms that if we can't keep people safe, why do we have people like you on the force at all, Paladin? I know it's an accident, but he's on our case, and that comes back to this incident. If we think we're going to get away with this, he says we're going to need to counterspin the story dynamic. That seems like it's your area of expertise.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to help our precincts, mutual benefit. Perhaps I could follow your boy Paladin, sorry, Quiver, here on some guerrilla TV, really put the word out about the good that's being done.
Yeah, well, if you want to spin the story, like Rakshasa was there and he's responsible for injuring those suspects, that's not my doing, so we can spin the story this way.
Did they make you wear a body cam? No, probably
I
not.
don't know.
I think maybe we're treading slightly on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
there's probably plenty of CCTV, but probably not the body cam.
Yeah. But Dynamic is happy. If we decide to follow up on that, I will give you a GoPro to film.
But Billingsby sort of sucks down the coffee and says, "Why don't you see if your editor can clear this mess up. She's respected well enough and connected to the Titans. So, let's see if we can make this go away as much as possible, and if not, get some results out of it. And seriously, Paladin, if you're going to suggest that someone gets into the scene and causes bone and breaks and injuries like that again, don't rely upon urban legends like Rakshasa. Use something a little bit more believable.
I mean, do you think I'm lying?
No, I don't think you are lying. I just think that he doesn't get caught. Hmm?
I told you, man. We need to get it on camera. It's like Bigfoot.
Very well. Next time he makes an appearance, I will follow. I will not stop on the pursuit until I captured him. Yes, exactly.
But listen, Billingsby, I've got my boys back. I got this whole thing on lockdown. My producer will make this thing shine like, the most polished thing you've ever left behind in your toilet. But we got to find someone. We got to find Beatdown.
Beatdown. You've got a move you wanted to pull here, right, Paladin?
Yes. When you ask person 23 for additional resources, equipment, or information during a mission, roll plus soldier. Other than that, I don't have much, but I think this could be information during a mission.
Yeah, I think so. You're asking for information, and yeah. So Paladin has moved to the Soldier playbook, which is from the Secrets of Ages extension to Masks, and has a new label in it, Soldier.
It's on 8. On a hit, they will supply you as best as they can. Yeah.
She says, Beatdown. Wow, you like to find all the fun, right?
Just doing my duty, Inspector, capturing the bad guys.
Said she's mid-level, destructive, dangerous. We believe in the employ direct contract with Scarlet Lady and her outfit. You think she took Bluebird down?
Yeah.
So she takes out her phone, looks through and taps something in, and then passes it back to you. And we see a picture of a red-haired Asian woman, probably early 20s, wearing huge mechanical-looking gloves. Says sonic and seismic tech-based abilities, strapped right tightly in. She is not to be trifled with. Dangerous. She used those things to punch straight through an armored van over in Westport about 2 weeks ago.
They look like they're made of metal.
Sorry?
They look like they're made of metal.
Yeah, I put a picture to her there, which I put to the character keeper, but it said.
Do we have anything more current about her whereabouts? Has she been seen recently by CCTV?
Said if anyone is going to know where she is, you're going to need to shake the tree a little. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
And this is going to need probably a little bit of dynamics lead, unless you want to be throwing around that badge really carefully. He said, if you that we're pretty sure that most of the mercenaries in the city, the super mercs, are being run through a couple of fixer agents. I said there's a there's a nightclub in A Town called Bagheera's. So it's run by Bobby Tigerman Ramone. Be
Bobby
careful.
Tigerman Ramone.
She throws up a picture of Tigerman, and it is a man who looks like a tiger, or maybe more like a lion, smoking a cigar in a dinner jacket, with a martini in one hand and a red flower on his lapel.
Wow. Cyrus, let's go catch a tiger by the tail, give it a pull, and see what shakes out.
Yes. Thank you, Inspector.
So, Paladin, one more thing before you go.
Yes, Inspector.
I don't know where they were getting heavy armament like that. The goons in the masks that you took down.
Mhm.
That should have been routine. Once you've solved this one, with all the help that we're giving Dynamic to sort this mess out, perhaps you and the Tri-Town Tower Guardians can clean up the streets of this hardware. Yeah.
Yes, that was my plan after we resolved this immediate situation.
See, it's so much more productive when you're in charge.
Yeah, no problem, Miss Billingsby. We can always keep on doing your work.
I thought she was referring to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was. It's good that you're so civically minded. It must do wonders for your ratings, hey?
A wink.
And we'll cut the scene there and find out after that where our joyous romantic coupling of Nox and Grey Ghost went to. Grey Ghost, you fled and went off in your own direction, having emotional trauma from your incident back in Volume 1. Where did you go?
Well, rooftops seem to be a recurring theme for the group. So I think there's this random rooftop. Literally, it was just to get far away from people so they couldn't see me having a panic attack.
Yeah, well, the police are arriving down at the warehouse. You're far enough away to see that. The streets below have been stopped by the explosion, and there is gridlock in the neighborhood. But you are on a rooftop.
Yeah, I think we're just on the roof of a warehouse building. There's the flue stack for the boiler, and I think when Nox gets there, I'm there basically my knees up to my chest, my mask off, and just hyperventilating.
I think the gem probably goes up and kind of just wraps themselves around you and kind of rocks with you. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I almost missed that. I almost got us killed.
No, you didn't. Nobody could have predicted that. It's okay. You can't beat yourself up over this. We all knew what we were getting into.
Oh, I tripped those explosives. I tripped those goddamn explosives.
No, you can't blame yourself for that. Nobody knew that place was tricked out.
Should have known.
No, how could you have known? How?
I think I runs over to the edge of the building and is sick over it.
Okay. Yeah, Gem is probably going to hold up your hair, like gently stroking your back in circles. Okay, let it out.
got to get better. I got to get better at this.
We all need to improve, but you can't keep beating yourself up like this. You don't have control over every variable in the world. That's not how this works. We're all heroes. We all know that we're going to be in danger most of the time. And you can't blame yourself for when things go south.
How many people am I going to end up killing, though, Jen? How many? It was Cyrus's dad. Those people at the courthouse. Just how many more am I going to be responsible for?
You can't. I'm not going to pretend like it's an insignificant thing to take a life. But Izzy, you have the best intentions in mind. It's part of the job, and I know that it takes a part of you every single time. But I know that you don't do it intentionally, one. Secondly, you do it only as a last resort.
Yeah. No.
I think Jem probably takes your hand at this point. Have you been seeing your therapist?
She's out of network. When I can afford it. It's, oh God. It was so much easier when I didn't give a fuck about all this shit. I'd just go and take stuff from the bad guys and then use it.
You know that you always gave. You know that you always cared about this. It's just you can't keep all of that buried down. It's gonna resurface at some point. And now that it has, you have to deal with that fallout. But you need to know that you're not alone. You don't have to carry this burden, this cross on your own. You have me. You have the team.
But that's it. What if I end up hurting you? And I'm going to grab her hand and hold it tightly. I'd never be able to forgive myself.
You're not going to hurt me. I know you.
What if I hurt Kitty?
You're not going to hurt Kitty.
Jem, it sounds like you're doing a comfort and support there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely comfort and support. Also look at your team moves, gang, because I think you probably may have hit things like the vulnerability in a team.
That's plus mundane. So that's a 7 for comfort and support.
Okay.
So on a 7 for a comfort and
You remember? I was going to say, are you remembering to take the +1 for having influenced over me?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
then that's back up to 8.
Yeah.
So on a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if they open up to you. I think they definitely opened up to you. So Grey Ghost, if you want to decide which of those you want to take.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna mark XP. Yeah, if that's okay.
Yeah. And do check your playbooks to see if you hit. You definitely exposed yourself as yeah, when you share a vulnerability or weakness with others, also particularly your legacy, including your true feelings about it, try and clear a condition and give them influence over you. So you
Okay. So for my playbook, because I've moved to the legacy,
Yeah.
when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, tell them a secret about your legacy, including your own true feelings over it, to clear a condition and give them influence over you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to be my father. My father, and she'll take the mask and look at it. My father gave his life for the city, gave his life to protect. Gave his life to protect you, protect your family. I just I just want to make him proud.
See, you don't have to give your life up to make your father proud. You protect this city. It's not going to be in the same way as your father. It's going to be in a similar strain, but you're not your father. You're right. You're you. And that's so much. I don't know what I would do without you, and I wouldn't change you for anything. Anything. You have to believe that. I think that Jem is probably like cupping your face with one hand and like doing the thumb thing across your cheek.
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh God.
Felt like scene to me. So let's
Can I just take a moment?
Yeah.
Jen, Laura, thank you for that. That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was really good.
Cool. Okie dokie, gang. Let's. Where did you head? Where did you head next? Dynamic, sir.
Straight to the club.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll in like a rock star. I was saying maybe Paladin doesn't come in uniform.
Yeah, I probably leave my uniform on the rooftop and just like leave Sparky guard the uniform, and then probably like wearing like a maybe more like a jogging uniform almost underneath, maybe like a sweater, and yeah, and then like take my phone and will pretend to be like a dynamic camera operator.
Yeah, or just my friend who's coming to the club.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Did you say Sparky's outside? That's what you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaving Sparky to guard my uniform because I don't want it to get stolen. So I leave Sparky outside.
I was wondering. It feels like as part of our agreement with Billingsby, it would be a good place for me to do an audience move to try and do the thing. But I was wondering whether this would be the point, or we can store the result for later, or whatever.
What are you trying to achieve in the fiction, Will?
To what she asked to spin Paladin's actions last night.
Sure, make your audience move.
Because I don't think that's like a sort of one-off to the camera kind of thing. That's more like
that's yeah, your one-on-one interview with
edited together bits of like, I thought they were just some punks, but then they pulled out a laser gun. Oh, thank God Paladin was here. Kind of Stan Lee cameo kind of thing.
Yeah, that is definitely, because he's not in this scene, isn't it? That is definitely something that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the star stuff is like useful in between scenes more than kind of like to focus, right? Because it's like your whole
Jeff, I
preparation.
think we can always sort of assume when you want stuff like this done that Jeff's out doing the vox pops, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I get a 10 on that, so my audience can hook me up, basically. They only make a small demand, and I think the small demand is that we want to see more of Paladin, if that's acceptable.
Yeah, Jeff said, "Look, it's going great. I've got some great interviews," and it said, man, I just, the awesome thing, they were really happy to see someone stepping in and being visible in A Town. Maybe we should think about having, a spin-off series. If you can just convince Paladin to give up, the Law and Order gig and get into private bounty hunting, there's a spin-off series out. I'm telling you right now.
Oh man, I like that. Sparky the bounty hunter with his
said-
sidekick Paladin. Yeah.
I said I'm so glad that Knox was happy for Lux to come out and watch my back as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she doesn't like to talk about it though, like just don't tell her. Knox did not tell her that. But just, don't get in between those two. It's crazy.
Wait. Oh my God.
Just pretend you don't know.
Dude, she scares me.
Which one?
Yeah. Yeah, stay safe.
All right, man. Keep your eyes on the shadows. And I hang up just
and then we'll deal with the fallout of this on Lux's Instagram. There's a picture of her and Jeff going, keeping my friend safe, patrolling the neighborhood.
Nice. But I think the way that we are coming to, I'm imagining coming at this club like some douchebag celebrity. You know what I mean? Like maybe even like maybe there's like a rooftop smoking terrace, and like rather than go through the bouncer and the security guards or whatever, I'm just gonna like fly in on the top with my buddy, and land in and be like, hey guys, what's going on? Yo, like let's get some drinks in here. Yeah.
And you're carrying Cirrus in with you?
Yeah, I think I've got him like on, I'll completely rip off Static Shock, and I will have him on top of a manhole cover, right, surfing it down as we go in.
Cool.
Awesome.
If you could definitely do that and mix it together, remember that it depends if people knew who the White Rabbit is, they may know that Cirrus Kilgore is a player in town, or could be a player in town themselves.
Yeah, I'm imagining it a little bit like you see Hawkeye doing stuff, even though he doesn't wear a mask in his Avengers costume, right? So, like,
well, I don't think anyone knows Cirrus's secret identity, but they will know that Cirrus Kilgore is a multimillionaire.
Oh yeah.
So there are people who put their hands to their sides to pull side arms. I wonder if.
Just in case, if we are rolling into the club as guests and as buddies, then I suppose we totally hit the exotic clothing store open 24/7, and Cyrus is probably in some fancy suit, but very youthful. So it's top fashion, and then flying on the men cover.
Yeah,
on the manhole cover,
wearing a tailored suit and a $400 t-shirt, right? That way that you look young and hip,
exactly,
and wealthy.
Exactly.
Cool. Look, Dynamic is making the big entrance. This will give you an opportunity, if you so want to, with your detective training Paladin, to make an assess the situation, because they are going to go for their some of the guys on the roof are put their hands to the jackets to at least not draw, but put their hands on slide-ons. So maybe you want to assess the situation.
Yeah, sure. That's I have some good vantage point. Superior one. Let's see. That's Snake Eyes.
Then you spot nothing, dazzled by the flashing flashes of people's cameras, and cameras have come up with screens, and you're in the center of this sort of little quiet media storm. And one of the guys on the rooftop, he says, "I don't see your name on the VIP list, hero."
Oh yeah, well, and then I'm going to fire my hand up into the air and skywrite dynamic in letters of lightning, and I think that's going to be as it's time for the show, I put on a flamboyant display of my powers, and I roll plus superior.
Cool.
That is 7. Does that take me to a 10, or did I lower my super? No, it takes me to a 10. You know what? I took that thing that lets me mark experience from the when I spend team selfishly, and then I keep rolling 10s, so I keep not having a reason to use it.
We've only got one team at the moment anyway, so it's like...
I would totally spend that selfishly to get the extra experience. It'd take me up to a new level.
Right, but yeah, that's fine. So that goes off. It's in the air. We need to name 2 NPCs. Clearly,
you know exactly who I'm gonna mention.
Yeah, well, you want Tony. You want sorry, you want Tiger Man. Who else do you want to mention with you? Or do you want the guy in front of you or someone else?
Bluebird? Nope. Okay. I will go with.
Wait a minute. Let me just name 2 NPCs present.
Yeah.
The name NPC must volunteer. So I don't think Bluebird is present.
No,
I'm happy to say that Beatdown is in the club, and she's...
Oh God, yeah, that's perfect. Beatdown and Tiger, that's perfect. Yes.
Yep. Okay, so we're afraid that as this goes off into the air, we see Bobby Tigerman Ramone coming out, smoking a cigar, has a glass with cognac in, and goes puts his hand over the goon's shoulder and says, "Hey, this is a legitimate business. Why wouldn't I want celebrity endorsement from someone like Dynamic? Everybody knows that Dynamic will sell anything for the right price. You and your friend, welcome. Drinks are on me."
Oh, hey, Tiger.
So
nice.
he's Tigerman is telling you who you are, you corporate shill.
Well, face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot.
So he's going to put. He doesn't think you're as morally superior as you think you are.
Yeah, well, clearly no douchebag gets to tell me.
Yeah,
who I am.
So you're gonna resist, yeah.
Yeah. That's with mundane, right?
It is.
Yeah, I'm not very good at mundane.
I think it's a flat.
It is a flat roll.
Oh, it's just a flat roll.
Unless you've got influence over them, it's a flat roll. Oh no,
Okay.
no, sorry, yeah.
It's a 10 anyways, so I reject that influence. No one tells me who I am but me and Jeff.
On a 10, you can clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong, shift one label up or down, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, I get to shift mark potential or take +1 forward against them. Is that right?
You can take potential. 2. 10 plus is choose 2.
Okay, so I will. Sorry, these are one of those things that we trigger infrequently, so I always stumble over it. Okay. Yeah, I mark potential, and I am going to cancel influence and take +1 forward against them.
Okay, the easiest one to do that is to mark that you have influence over Tigerman Ramone. So
yeah.
mark that into your own influences.
And I will. How do I reject that? I think I say. You know, Ramon, it ain't for sale when you're just giving it away for free.
I like you. You're smart and funny, and you travel with really rich company. Mr. Kilgore, welcome to Bagheera's. I know you're investing into your community. He on your payroll?
Oh, what, Kilgore?
No.
Nah, man,
I
he's
said-
above my
said-
my pay grade.
Says, hey, Dynamic, talking to the organ grinder, not the monkey.
Meow.
Well, it's always nice to hang out with other celebrities. So just friends visiting the club in the evening.
The guy who was on the roof, he sort of taps him on the shoulder and goes, you put Mr. Kilgore on the VIP list. Mr. Kilgore is always welcome here.
Thank you.
What about Dynamic? I said, you put Dynamic on the cash deposit list. He pays for all of his damages.
Well, who said anything about breaking anything, baby? It's all good,
A striking woman puts champagne into both of your hands, and he says, welcome to the club. He says, you are both old enough to drink, right?
Oh, yeah.
He said, I'd ask for some ID, but who knows? Hey, this is a good place.
Yeah, well, you asked for some ID. I may take this camera into the bathroom stalls, and we'll see what what sort of lines are being formed there.
Said, Dynamic. There's no need for this. This is a legitimate business. Now.
Yeah. Certainly, anyone who says that so often is certainly legitimate, Ramone. But hey, we're here to have a good time, not to put a beat down on anyone.
Goes, yeah, come on in. Place is all yours. And he gestures into the club. Let's cut the scene. There. And I want to know how Nox reacted to Lux being out with Jeff on patrol.
Yeah, I think that Nox probably saw that. It just shit. It probably messages Kitty and reminds her, in that kind of passive aggressive way. Hey, just remember to don't tell anybody your identity, especially if you're hanging around people with cameras. Keep your mask on, and just things like that. Maybe looking up her location on her phone, kind of zooming in.
Yeah, I think she responds back and says, "It's a dot on the text message going like, hey, I know you were doing the grown-up in a quotation mark superhero stuff, but Jeff needed my help. He said, you taught me that we look after our friends." Smiley face.
At least she isn't actively trying to take down criminals at this point in time.
I don't know how long that's gonna last.
We really need to sort out her training.
Her training. Do you know that Dynamic has taken a part of her training? Do you know what kind of things that he's
God.
teaching her?
Yeah, how to properly frame a shot.
How to best, what's the word? I can't think of it. Highlight your powers in film. I don't know what she's gonna do.
Cut across to a panel on the other scene where we see Lux looking at Jeff saying, and if we could catch the Rakshasa on camera, we'd be like awesome. Jeff stroking his chin. I think Jeff probably got a goatee, right? And a beanie hat, stroking his chin, trying to figure out whether this is a good plan or a bad plan.
She just sent us a text message. I could probably find out where she is.
Yeah, I think that might be good. We don't have to intervene unless absolutely necessary, but I think it would be good to keep an eye on her.
Okay, can I borrow your phone?
Yeah. whips it out.
I'm gonna hack Jen's phone and get the cell tower signal location.
I think you're on. She's on your comms, right? So I think the team, if you're on comms, you can probably let's just sort of establish you can locate each other. So that's not.
Okay.
I would imagine Grey Ghost has put trackers in for emergencies just in case, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna look up where Lux is and see if I can get any local CCTV cameras that have
Oh yeah.
have her in line of sight.
So to hack into the cameras and see line of sight would be a unleash your powers because you're extending your sensors.
And that's a 9.
So on 7 to 9, would you like to mark a condition? I'm going to tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Well, okay. If Lux is acting up, I'll mark a condition based on how she's acting. If she's not acting up, then then you can tell me how it's unstable and temporary.
So I think what we'll frame then is they've gone further into A town, and you spot a camera, and there seems to be a gang of tattooed Asian guys and her having a conversation. The body language is not kicking off, but it is tense.
Okay, so I will mark. I'll get back into the character sheet, and I'm gonna mark insecure. We've not prepared her for this.
Okay.
Oh God.
What is it?
I'm gonna show you the camera. That's powder keg.
Shit. Why the hell did Jeff take her there?
We've got her on comms. Do you want us to?
Yeah, I think that.
No. Let's get down there. It's not that far away from here. We can get there quickly ourselves.
All right, let's go. No time to waste.
I would have just called her. As an outside thing, I would have just normally called her and actually warned her. Me going there is basically me acting foolhardy and probably gonna make this situation worse. So I'm just setting that up for David for later on as justification to declare the insecure if it does go down badly.
Okie dokie. 2 seconds. Okay, so we'll cut back to we will cut back to the night club. You spot the person who appears to look exactly like Beatdown. She is sitting down there drinking champagne. Not alone. There are a couple of other you would recognize as mid to low level supervillain thugs at the table with her.
So how do you wanna play it out? Do we wait till she leaves, or do you want, or do we want to approach them directly? Because I wouldn't mind having a word with the tiger gentleman.
Yeah.
I have this thug's gun that I would like to inquire him about.
Hey,
Or do you wanna?
maybe in the
Okay.
press of things, I go off to get my selfie taken with some glamorous people, and you can go off because I'm probably not going to surprise you with how do I want to play it is not subtle.
Well,
So I will, we'll defer the confrontation with Beatdown until after you've had your moment with Tigerman.
cool. I'll try to keep you in the eye contact and provide help when needed. So yeah. Cool. So if maybe I can have a moment with the, I completely forget his name, and he's on the very bottom of the list.
Tigerman Ramone.
We should
Yeah.
reorder the list to have current guys on top. So yeah, Bobby Tigerman Ramone. Okay, so I think having a moment with Bobby Tigerman Ramone, Cyrus. I suppose I have a suitcase, and in the suitcase I have this like gun that I picked off the criminal bandit last time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I will just like put the suitcase on a table and open it and say, I was wondering, Mr. Ramone, would you happen to know anything about this hardware? I could be interested in acquiring, a couple of pieces for my own personal security. I was wondering if you know who could hook me up with such gear.
So I'm going to suggest you want to start with a pierce the mask, which might lead into a provoke someone.
Yes. Here's the mask, mundane. Oh, that will. Oh, it's a 9. Mundane 0, it's a 9. Oh, that's interesting. Cool.
So, no one around you, I'm afraid, to spend team with you, so you can only ask one question from the pierce the mask list. Now, if these are guideline questions, there's something specifically more you want to ask, and it's not there, you can. And if I think it's inappropriate, I'll say no. But generally, you should be able to go wider than those questions.
Can I suggest something?
Yeah.
Perhaps Tigerman Ramone and Paladin are talking in a, glass-fronted office overlooking the club floor.
Sure.
Just because I like that whole.
Yeah. The VIP
Awesome.
lounge.
Yeah. The luxury private office where the boss stands over and looks out.
Someone wants to see their person beneath. I wanna ask. I wanna get the impression of him seeing that I have the gun and stuff like that. So I guess I'm interested in like what are they really planning with the information that I have the gun. I wanna acquire them. Like what are they trying to hide their true emotions or stuff like that?
Yeah.
What are they really planning?
He's ice cold, this guy, but there's just sort of a little bit of a flicker. And I think it's because you're so used to dealing with animals, right? Maybe on someone else spotted it, but the slight twitch of his whiskers is enough to let you know that he knows what these are. He says, I don't know what those things are. Why would I? Said, I'm not sure what you think I'm into, Mr. Kilgore, but it ain't this. He's lying.
Yeah, I suppose I stand up, I go to close the suitcase, and I say, well, Mr. Ramone, I'm terribly sorry. I must have been completely mistaken about your reach and influence and power in the city. In this case, I will take my dollars somewhere else and to find the proper supplier.
And it sounds like you're definitely trying to provoke them at that point, right?
Yeah. Wow, this is so interesting to play Cyrus out of the uniform. Wow. This is cool. Provoke is with superior.
It is.
7 on the dice. Plus my superior, it's an 8.
So on an 8, I think they're going to overreact, and you're going to gain influence over Tigerman Ramone. And he says, Mr. Kilgore, he says, I knew your father very well. We did a lot of business together. I said, if you're in the same line of business, then we can have a conversation. But we won't have that conversation until you can prove to me that you are.
Very well,
now,
Mr.
So yeah, no, you go.
No, because he was finishing the sentence. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I was going to close down the scene, so you react. Go
on. No, I think it's totally fine. It seems like he closed the conversation. I'm going to close the suitcase and reply to him. Well, I will think about your offer, Mr. Ramone. Have a good evening.
He says, enjoy the VIP lounge, and he sort of waves his hand around it, and he says, Chantel over there will be at your beck and call all evening. You want your glass topped up? She's there. Anything you want, Mr. Kilgore. It is a pleasure to see a member of your family frequenting my establishment again.
Thank you, Mr. Ramone. Thank you. And I will leave his office.
Cool. So it's more of a VIP lounge looking down over the rest of the club rather than an office. So you can stay up here and look over, or look down. But let's again cut across to A Town, where you are making your way across town at speed, Nox and Grey Ghost. What does that look like? How are you traveling?
Normally it's rooftops, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm using grapple gun, and I'm not sure how Nox does that.
Yeah, I think that Nox is probably using the shadows, kind of fading in and out, kind of like, yeah.
Okay. And yes, I do steal less cars now.
You still don't yet have a Grey Ghost mobile. You need to find where that's stored, right?
It's under the Outsider playbook under Kirby Mobile.
Yeah. Then you can get your Grey Ghost mobile, and that will be awesome. But right. But at this, yeah. So you are both. You can sort of extend them in. You can see they're having a heated conversation between both parties. Jeff's recording with the camera. Both parties are speaking in Mandarin.
Wait a minute. She knows Chinese?
This is the first time hearing of it.
Hey Google, open Google Translate.
Okay. And you're using that to assess the situation, then I would guess, right?
Yes. It's not actually Google Translate. I'm using my alien thingamajig, but okay. I believe that's a 9.
So you can ask one question.
Okay. Let's just get back to. Okay. Assess the situation. What here is in the greatest danger?
greatest danger so there's 5 of these guys. They're all tattooed, and they're close enough now you can see them. These are the tattoos from the gang markings of the Crystal Knuckle Association, who are a notorious gang in A-Town. The leader, young Golden Fist, is currently incarcerated, but the gang is still out there.
Okay. And who? Sorry, Dave. Who is in the greatest danger here?
Well, if it kicks off, it would be Lux would be in the greatest danger.
That's fine. I just wanted to clarify that. He's going for a weapon. He's going for a weapon, and I'm gonna dive over and basically dive down. I'm totally overreacting when one of them reaches into their pocket.
Cool. So what are you trying to affect in the fiction? What move are you pulling?
I'm not pulling any move. Well, I'm actually I'm. I think I'm
You're directly engaging a threat.
Yeah,
right?
I'm directly engaging a threat. Sorry, I don't do it very often, so I have to remember what it's called. I normally just do the trickery stuff. So yeah, I'm directly engaging a threat.
Cool. So that's with your danger.
Yep, which just went down 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think as this is happening, I think that Nox probably goes, wait, no.
Oh, and that would be a 6.
Okay, so you come in hard on the one that was at the back that you thought was putting his hand in to get something. He goes down really with a thick crunch as you impact into them, and the phone that he was getting out of his pocket goes scattering across the floor as he's knocked cold. The others turn round. Lux looks at you like, what the hell is going on? And then it escalates, and all of a sudden it's like it's an ambush.
Yeah, I think that I'm probably going to bring into action if that's okay.
Right. So at that point, to say the cool, but yeah. So that's the situation has been escalated. That's my hard move. So Nox, how do you want to act?
Yeah, I think that I'm probably going to dissolve into the shadows and take on their form, and then just try to like weave in between everybody's feet and try to trip people up, just to get them like on the ground prone.
Cool. So it sounds to me like you're trying to create an opportunity for your allies, which would be a directly engage threat, unless it's something more specific from your move playbook move even.
I was thinking dangerous web.
Yeah.
So I roll plus freak, and my freak is 2. That's a 4.
So the sort of shadows sneak out, grab them, and pull them. But your emotions have got the better of you, and though you were just trying to trip them, you can see them sort of being pulled out into the darkness, and there's just squeaks of like, "What the hell's going on, man?" As they're all being pulled down. To which point, Lux looks at the pair of you and said, "What the hell are you two doing?"
Oh, he was reaching for a weapon.
Just looks at you and sort of said, "We were having an argument of whether Icon or Acor were the better K-pop band."
I saw him going for a weapon. He was reaching into his.
Lux, do you know who these people are?
She sort of did. He said, "That's Bobby. That's Ravi," and he says, "That's BTS." And he said, "The one that he just hit and knocked out was Rat Monster."
Strange. That's not the name that he's got on his perp sheet. These are all gangers, Lux. These are all very dangerous people.
She glows and is with that sort of yellow-orange energy and says, "Yeah, I'm dangerous as well, but you overreacted. This was not a situation that required that."
I don't know. I'd say that a situation where you're putting yourself in immediate harm's way and trying to protect you is not overreacting. And I think I'm going to try to provoke her.
Sure.
And this is plus superior. Cool. Hopefully this is a better roll. That's an 11.
What are you trying to provoke her to do, Nox?
I kind of want to just make her angry. I'm upset with her. So I'm just trying to push her buttons.
She sort of looks at you and says, "You tell me every day about training. You didn't get trained, but I covered for you every night you went out. I looked out for you, and I'm the little sister. So why is this different for me?" And she sort of explodes with light in the street.
Would it be okay if I take a powerful blow from her?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to choose to do that. You can choose to. I'm never going to resist if someone wants to do it or mark a condition. But yeah, take a powerful blow.
Is that just a flat roll?
It is with any conditions you have marked.
Okay. So that's a 5.
So you stand strong, but I'd like you to describe how your powers, her light and your darkness powers, sort of cancel each other out. What does that look like in the panel?
Yeah, so I would actually really like for her powers to kind of eat away at mine. So like as her light touches my shadows, it kind of like they kind of disintegrate as they go, and that's my shadows are kind of like an extension of me, so that kind of hurts.
Cool. So they sort of flare, and she sort of looks back at you, says, "I don't need lecturing, Nox. I need help. And I know when you used to have time to help me before they," points at Grey Ghost, "were the center of your world." And she is storming away. Jeff's got this on camera, and he's sort of texting Dynamic, going, "I don't know what to do with the footage. This is gold."
Oi, give that to me.
I think Jeff definitely knows to hit send before he gives it to Isabella. Upload to the cloud.
He always uploads to the cloud because he knows that Grey Ghost gets really grumpy. He keeps breaking his kit.
Yes, yeah. In fact, I think that when it's give it to me, Jeff just goes, drives off, kind of thing, leaving Lux behind with the two of you.
You okay? I'm looking at Nox. You okay?
I think that there are probably some burn marks on Nox's hands. Yeah, I'm fine. Just
Oh God,
a little
what
burn.
happened? How did she do that?
Well, you know me. I'm not one for standing in the light much. Nox kind of looks as Lux runs away.
you want me to go after her?
No, I think she needs to cool off a little bit.
The gang are sort of pulling themselves up and brushing themselves down, and they've got over to the one that you've knocked sideways. The one who is sort of leading the conversation, Icon, looks across at you and it says, "What's your problem, man?"
You prey upon the weak and you wonder what our problem is.
Also, BTS, really?
It says, "We made our mistakes, but we're trying to keep our streets safe. Get out of here. We don't want your sort around here. This is A-Town. We deal with our own problems."
Yeah, and speaking of your own problems, given the light show, how do you think how soon till Rakshasa arrives?
To which they look around really scared, and two of them sort of pick up the unconscious rat monster and says, "Yeah, we'll see you around, superhero.
Yeah.
Next time you ain't gonna sucker punch me."
Run along, little boy.
She's gonna go and sort of turn the page, go like, "It said, I knew they'd never let us go legit. It said, street pastors and street missions, that's nonsense. The only way we're ever going to be able to keep our streets safe from people like them is if we get some of those bigger guns."
Oh, Dave, you've just made my day. Consequences for actions. I love it.
Indeed. And look, that feels at the end of that. Actually, no, we'll do one more scene with Dynamic, and after that scene, we'll take our break.
Dave, can I clear insecure?
Hardly yeah, that seems totally correct for me. That you leapt before you looked, and have escalated everything. The Torres maneuver.
Yeah.
Dynamic. Let's see if you can out Torres.
After meeting and greeting and selfies and showing off a bit, I go and just plop myself right down on the table next to Beatdown. Sitting in, one of our goons gets up to go to the bathroom, and I just sort of I'm dancing with somebody, and I just sort of spin around and just flop straight into the chair next to them.
She takes a sip of her champagne. It's in one of those really fancy stem glasses that don't even have a bottom to it. She sort of sluts it back into the ice and goes, "Hey, Dynamic, you here alone? No date?"
And I flutter my eyelashes at her, and I go "Not yet." Is she wearing her gauntlets? No. I would like to, as we have our little banter, I would like to try and pierce a mask.
Sure.
I keep making the mistake of putting my normal setup, reversing my normal setup of where I have my notes and where I have the dice roller.
Mundane. Oh, right, sorry.
I'm just saying that I have all the tabs in front of me. I can see all of them. The fact that one of them's on the left and one of them's on the right is confusing the hell out of me, and it's my own fault. Anyways, mundane. Oh, finally I fail. I get a 5. No, 4 even, just a flat 4. So I mark my first new potential.
And as you do say that, I'm trying to look at it. She says, I thought you were serious with someone. Have they stood you up?" So she's going to inflict a condition on you for your failed roll with her barbing comments. Which do you think it is?
Angry, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this team mostly gets angry and then guilty about it afterwards.
It's a vicious cycle. We just go through all of them in turn, just one triggering the other.
And you know what? I'm gonna provoke in response to that.
Yeah, sure. What are you trying to provoke her to do?
Start a fight.
Cool.
Oh, if not her, given that I, imagine that she's got a gauntlets and stuff, right? But one of her goons, basically a predicate for, I didn't throw the first punch kind of thing.
I think I want a bit more role play to move that into the role.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, no problem. Yeah. I was seeing someone, but I've got an eye for someone a bit better. Maybe you could fill the role. Pretty lady like you.
Oh, it's so sweet. But I got standards. I said, hey, but
yeah,
if,
like this guy. You send him.
says, I like the bad ones dynamic. If you dig up where ever Oriflame is hiding, give him my digits.
Oh, sure. I'll definitely. Oriflame would love to take you out. Take you on.
Yeah.
Maybe you could end up like, but then you might end up like Handsome Charlie.
So you're out of the shallow end dealing with me, pretty boy. So you don't want. He said you don't want to make this mistake. You've lost your little plaything. They ain't coming back. I remind you that you're angry.
Yeah. I reach over and take a drink and say like, and what are you gonna do to stop me, Beatdown, without your little playthings? Rock back on my chair and drink the remains of it, of a drink. What are all your little boys here gonna do?
We don't shit where we eat. Dynamic. This place is neutral ground. You wanna sort the situation? Why don't you and your little super friends come and see me sometime?
When? And where? How about right now in the car park? Or is that not neutral enough? Is that still too neutral for you?
Says, hey, I hear that you cool kids like the skate park. Let's meet there.
It's a date. Smile, grab the bottle, and continue. And we do not have our fight scene in the nightclub, which.
So at that point, it is about 11 o'clock UK time anyway. So let's take 10 minutes as a. So during the interlude, we've got Sparky outside, breath in the air, standing by Paladin's super suit and armor and weapons, and sort of sitting there. And we see Chaos Monkey drop down and sort of move across towards them. It says, they found the base. They must have an inkling of what's going on now. When are you going to tell him? And Sparky says, I don't know if I can. He said, Cirrus has been betrayed and misled so many times. He ain't going to be happy knowing I've been able to speak all along. I just don't know how to do this. They're my best friend. I love them so much. I can't tell them this. He says, it's up to you, man. But this is the point. We're getting really close to where it starts going wrong. When they lose that person, that's when they start losing control. Okay. I'll tell him. Um, flip from there. I think Jem, you get a your mother is ringing you. She's of an age where she does not text. Fern Barges is specifically ringing Jem. Does Jem answer or?
Oh, I know better than to miss a call from my mother. I will not hear the end of it.
It's what have you done to your sister? She's in tears.
What have I done? What has she done? She's going and putting herself in danger.
You need to come home and we need to sort this out. If you still remember where that is.
Is Robbie there?
I asked your father to move out. He's not staying here anymore.
Oh. Then yeah, I'll be there.
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
I presume you're still with at this point. Grey Ghost, did you hear any of that? What's your reaction to that, Grey Ghost?
It depends. Did Jem step off to the side to take the call, or did she take it directly in front?
I think I probably took it directly in front.
That doesn't sound good.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, family stuff.
You're not speaking to your father, are you?
No. I don't really want anything to do with him.
I don't abandon him just yet.
Why not? He's abandoned us.
I'm gonna grab, hold your hand and just remember, you only get one father.
I think Jen probably looks away. I thought I could trust him. You know, he threw that away.
He wanted to protect you.
Do you think he did?
Look at what they made my mother do to protect me. I don't think it was the right choice, but I understand it.
I just don't want to make the same mistakes he did. I'm going to show up for my family. I'm not going to run away when it gets hard.
Okay, let's turn the page to Cirrus and Dynamic. Are you leaving the nightclub?
I think so.
Are you leaving together?
I'm happy with however Paladin wants to do it.
I don't have any particular plans only about leaving the club. So whatever. We can leave. We came in together, so we can leave together as well. Just like a few photos for the fun, and just like say that we're going to some other club, and then just like leave through the front door or something, or leave from the roof.
Flyers away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You holding the manhole lid again, and I'm just like standing on it, or like.
Yeah.
So yeah, unless something happens to us before we leave.
You know what? I actually think the way that we do it, I think the manhole cover's gone at this point. So when they've moved it away, I think what I do is I lift you up by the briefcase that you're carrying.
Sure.
And you're sort of like hanging from it as I fire off into the sky.
Sure.
We touched down on the rooftop where you left Sparky. And I'm like, mascot, the superficial mask of the dynamic persona comes off, and it's like, skate park. You got my back?
Sure. So we got as the football fans go, they go to the place to have a skirmish. So we're gonna have a skirmish. Yeah, I should probably go there before it and clear out any teenager that might be hanging out over there. So I will head there directly.
No, man. What? As Paladin?
Yeah.
Dude. Do you think that supermarkets are gonna show up if there's a cop on the scene?
But there might be civilians.
And we'll clear them out, but you don't need to be a cop to do that, dude. Look, just because you got a badge now doesn't mean that you have to show it off all the time, right? Like, you know how things get done? It's not just for, the police are great if you can use them, but you don't let them use you. Don't let it get in the way of doing what we need to do, which is get Beatdown and get Bluebird back. I'm telling you that who you are, which is a superhero, not a cog in a machine. Which is moving your soldier down and your, I think maybe your danger up.
You're going to accept the influence, the Paladin, or you're rejecting the influence?
I think soldier down and superior up is what I'll be saying.
Yeah. Oh man, I think I want to resist that because. Awesome. Yeah, let's see how it goes. But I don't want to agree with that. But it never goes well for me. It's a 4.
Ooh. If you reject someone's influence on a miss, their words hit you hard. Mark a condition, and I will adjust your labels. What condition are you marking, Ceres, after Dynamic has just dissed your life choices?
I'm wondering what makes sense. I think like insecure makes sense in the situation. Like I'm like, maybe I really am like playing it wrongly right now, so I'm going to go for insecure.
Okay. So I am actually going to put your mundane up and your danger. In fact, no, I'm going to put your soldier up and your freak down.
I think you boosted the freak. It was, I think it was 0.
Put it down to -1, yeah. How do you react to that?
Yeah, I think for a moment we see like through the face we see like a like an Iron Man shot, like a man under the mask, and we see that the Grimmon, he wants to like be angry and he wants to say no, you are wrong, but he like, damn, why do you always have to be right about it? God damn, yeah.
Sparky is growling at you, Dynamic.
Good duck.
He says, and then Sparky then says, "Leave him alone, you bully." I'll turn the page on that scene because the look on, I think, Will's face is probably the look on both Dynamic and Paladin's face.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
Let's turn the page. Grey Ghost, where were you going? Were you going anywhere yourself? Because obviously Jem is heading back home. Anything you want? Where are you heading?
I think I need to touch base with the rest of the team because we don't want to split the party too much more than we have.
Okay, then I'll
So,
go across to the Gem scene, and then we can see where everyone goes from there. All right. So, Gem, we see the scene in the comic is you're outside the family house. I almost think there's Gem Barges looking at, and her long shadow is that of Nox's behind her, and looking up at the family home. You ring the doorbell, or if you've got the key, do you just let yourself in? How do you get into the house?
I think I ring the doorbell. I don't think that this is home anymore.
Door opens. It's your mother. She tries to embrace you and take you into a deep hug. Do you let her?
I think I let her. I think it's that awkward, pat, the kind of stiff hug.
Says, "Oh, it's so good to see you. I miss you." She looks at you and says, motherly apple looking down. He says, "I like what you've done with your hair."
Thanks. Jem kind of tugs at the tuft.
I'm like totally confused that Will has gone to put his ear through his wall. I just spotted that. Sorry, I'm sure there must be a reason. Anyway, so Kitty's really upset. What happened?
Oh, sorry. What was that?
Sorry, she says to you, Jem, your mother, Fern says, Kitty's really upset. What happened?
You know, she was conversing with some people, some very dangerous folk, talking about K-pop. Totally clueless, as she is wont to be, and lost control.
Jem, you said you were going to train her. You said you were going to keep her safe out there. It's still your highest priority, right?
Of course.
Said
you question that?
Said, I'm not questioning you. I'm just reminding you of your obligation. She's telling you who you.
It looks like you're questioning.
She said, "There's a difference between questioning and reminding." But she is telling you who you are. That you, you promised to look after her, and she wants to put your savior up and your your mundane up and your danger down. Are you going to accept or reject her influence?
I think I'll accept it. Yeah.
So I'm putting your mundane to 0 and your danger down to 1. She's upstairs. If you want to talk to her.
Yeah, I'll go.
I miss you, Jem. You could come round. You can even bring Isabella. It might be nice to have a meal, a family, board game nights or something. Does Isabella play board games? Is she? I don't know anything about her.
Yeah, she plays. You gotta keep your eye on her, though. She's a tricky one. But yeah, that sounds nice. Maybe at some point. I think that Jem kind of gives a lopsided smile and starts heading upstairs. I think that as we see Jem go up the stairs, they're kind of like slowly like tracing their hand along the stairway, kind of like just going through memories of this house, but like realizing that they're different now and it's not quite the same. And then they knock at Kitty's door before entering.
There's a sign up on the door that says Kitty's room. It's probably been painted on the door and adult stay out sign and a sticker of the Titans and of Dynamic stuck onto the Titans on the door. But when you knock, there's no answer from inside.
Kitty?
There's movement. There's movement in there. She's just not answering.
Come on, I know you're in there.
She opens the door. Hair's a mess. Obviously, been crying. Said, "What?" Said, "Oh, you're actually alone."
Yeah, I can be alone. I like being alone.
She walks into the room, which is enough of a sign from your petulant teenage sister that you're allowed in.
Yeah, I think that Jim kind of slowly walks in, hands in pockets. So, what's up?
What do you mean, what's up? You like embarrassed the hell out of me out there.
I was just worried. You know, you're my kid sister. I'm supposed to protect you. And you're out there in the streets talking K-pop with people in gangs.
I'm
Don't
out
you seem
there.
concerned?
I'm out there trying to make a difference, just like you are.
I know. It's just harder when it's you.
Says you don't get to do this anymore. You left. I got my powers and you left. And then Dad left. And it's just me. And I am tough enough to look after myself. I don't need you.
Kitty, I didn't leave. I'm still here. I've been training with you. I didn't leave like Dad.
No. Dad left because of you.
No, he abandoned us. He didn't. I didn't. You think this is my fault? He lied to us. He lied to us both. He lied to everyone.
Said, no, I don't think it's your fault. I think it's Oriflame's fault.
Don't bring them into this.
It would have been you and me. We would have been. Said, I don't want training with you anymore. I'm gonna ask Dynamic or Paladin to finish my training. I'm gonna sign up for the Vanguard initiative. I've had enough of you and the Grey Ghost trauma and drama that circles the lot of you. I'm gonna be a real superhero.
As opposed to what? Me?
Yeah, you.
And what makes you more of a superhero than me? Does being in the limelight make you a superhero?
I think we're done. Leave.
No.
I mean, no. Leave. It's what you do.
No. I don't abandon my family.
She starts glowing.
I think Gemma's gonna go in to hug her.
She's glowing with her powers. Gem, what does it feel like as you wrap your arms around her?
I think that it's a slow burn. It feels like a sunburn underneath the skin, like from the inside out.
She, I think, stops glowing and just sort of breaks down and sobs into your arms and says, "It's not fair. Everyone leaves. I just want to try and do the right thing."
I'm not going anywhere. If you want to train with Dynamic, you can. I'm still going to be here, though.
So I'm sorry. I said really hurtful things. I'm sorry. I hate fighting with you.
I hate fighting with you, too.
She sort of looks up and looks into your eyes, says, "But I really, really don't like your girlfriend." And I think we'll scene there. Speaking of said girlfriend, I think
I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving this.
I think you arrive into another scene of emotional trauma on the rooftop with Dynamic and Paladin looking befuddled probably at Sparky.
Can I say that we're looking like what? And then Grey Ghost just arises from the shadows behind us, just as us both flabbergasted, and we're like, huh? Did you hear that?
Did I hear what?
The dog.
Wait.
Right.
Yeah. Sparky, what did you just do or say? I think it's.
Why are you talking to Sparky like that? And I'll go over and kneel next to them and fuss them.
Sparky's just sort of sitting on its back legs now, not barking, and just got its tongue out, lolling, panting away, looking like any normal dog would do, giving you stink eye, Dynamic.
I mean, he told me to stop bullying Quiver, which is completely unfair and misreading the situation entirely. But
it's Paladin now.
Sorry, Cyrus. Sorry. Yeah, Paladin.
Thank you.
Listen, man. You know I just liked you before you were cool.
You sure that isn't a little grasshopper on your shoulder there, Dynamic?
I'm surprised you'd even know what one looked like, Izzy.
come on, I've seen Pinocchio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you burned your grasshopper a long time ago, so I'm not taking any lectures from that.
Are you telling them who they are, Dynamic? It
Yeah,
felt
you know
like
what? In a
you were-
mean way, why not? You know, they can't all be good, positive. Can't all be trying for the best, right?
So if you're telling them who they are at that point, it's in another legendary Dynamic Grey Ghost bust up. What labels are you trying to move?
I am trying to move the danger up, and the savior down.
And are you accepting or rejecting that Grey Ghost?
Yeah, I've done things I'm not proud of. That's why I found another one. You know her. She's my better half.
Nox.
Come on.
Nox is your moral voice.
Nox is the beating heart of this team.
Hey.
Cyrus aside. Nox is the glue that keeps us all together. If it wasn't for Nox, I would have flown apart months ago.
Yeah, definitely. Super glue. For this, yeah, I see it for sure.
But that still doesn't explain why you think Sparky is talking to you.
Yeah.
You're accepting that
Yes,
label?
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay. I'm glad that we leaned into the look, you heard it, right?
Yeah, you also heard it.
Yeah. Listen.
What about you, Sparky? Did you hear it? And I'm using my illusion powers to have Sparky go, yes, I definitely heard it.
That's not what he sounds like at all.
We were, oh yeah, just yeah. You accepted that? Oh, did you move your own labels there? By the way.
Yes, I did. I've already shifted them.
Yeah.
Listen, crazy. I don't have time for this dog, and I point my finger at Sparky very accusingly. Beatdown at the skate park. It's our chance to get Bluebird back.
Okay, so
You win, or is it
what's the plan?
take down, beatdown?
What, in the skate park? With all those civvies around?
No, we get rid of the civvies, right?
Why? So how do we know that they're going to be there?
Because they said they would.
So you've told them that you're going to be there at this time?
Yeah, Izzy. I told them that I was going to be there at this time, right? Maybe, we could have done something else if we were a team. If we were working together to help, our friend Bluebird, who's in danger. But where were you?
Can I take a powerful blow, please?
As always, if you would like to take one or mark a condition, you don't have to necessarily take a powerful blow if you want to. You can just mark a condition.
In which case, I'm going to mark guilty.
Yeah.
And in fact, you know what? I think the way they top off that phrase, the way I phrase that is actually like, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised that you'd stand Bluebird up again.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
No, Izzy, you're right. I have no idea. When I say something, I mean it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No,
Izzy.
you don't. This is all a facade. This is all show.
Like you'd even know. Don't have time for this, Izzy. Don't have time for any of this.
No, but you have time to put us in danger by telling the bad guys where we're going to be.
No, I have
Yes,
time.
that is exactly what you have done.
Then don't be there, Izzy.
No, we'll be there,
Bye.
but we don't fight them. Cyrus, you agree with me, don't you?
I mean, that was part of the plan to get Bluebird back. So
Yeah, but
I
no.
assume...
We trail Beatdown from the park. We don't have to fight them there. Not a place where they know we're going to be, where they're prepared for us.
Well, if we get them before then we will be prepared for them.
Well, yeah, but
And
how does fighting them at the park get Bluebird back? We'd still have to interrogate them. We'd still have to actually hope that something doesn't happen to her while we're holding them and while we're trying to get that information out of them. We trail her from the park back to where she's staying and then go in there. We do it quietly. We don't make a big fuss about it. We certainly don't have cameras around all the goddamn time to do this. What's important here is not his ego, his hurt feelings. It's Bluebird. And to be fair, if Jem was in that situation, I'd be doing exactly what he's doing. But he's doing it wrong.
But you just said you would do exactly the same thing.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that I'd be doing it right. You know, sometimes the first instinct, sometimes going off and doing it yourself is a selfish thing to do. You're giving in to what you mean, guys? It's just us here. Yeah.
So I think we have a very good plan A, go and beat the Beatdown.
No,
and the plan B, we let Beatdown escape and we trail her because probably she would be too focused on escaping to notice she's being pursued.
Cyrus,
excellent two plans.
Cyrus, we're going to have a fight in the major residential area. We're going to have a fight surrounded by homes and houses with families asleep in. You've seen the new stuff that's on the street. You've seen what the stuff they're wielding out there at the moment can do to the places like that.
We're gonna have to contain it then as much as possible. Keep them focused on us. I mean...
And what if they miss? What if they miss? What if the only way to stop them hitting a house is put ourselves physically in between us and that? Doing this there is absolute craziness. It's feeding his own ego. It's out in public. Everyone's going to be watching. We're supposed to be here to save people. And saving Bluebird does not involve a big public spectacle. It involves finding Bluebird and making sure she's safe.
Yeah, I'm on your point. I was just trying to make it when Sparky interjected us. I was just trying to make the same point that we should escort the civilians out of there.
No. Why do we need to even disrupt their lives? Why do we need to put that fear into them? A hero who works best is a hero that the city doesn't even know about. A hero who solves problems without people becoming aware of the problem in the first place.
Well,
so people don't live constantly in fear. This is what he doesn't understand. He's all about, oh, look at this, or look at that. People see what he does, and they are afraid that that's going to happen to them. There are other people out there that have those abilities, that can do that. They are small little creatures in a giant world.
If you're trying to affect, which I think you are, to see if Paladin is going to come with you here, I would suggest you just move into a provoke move.
Okay. Pity I just marked insecure. Oh, and that's a 3.
Well, mark potential, and it's another one of them, Paladin, who seems to think that you don't get it and is telling you, that you're not. How do you react? Because you had a smackdown from Dynamic, and now you've got a smackdown from Grey Ghost. What is your emotional state, and how do you respond to Grey Ghost? And then we'll close the scene.
Yeah, I think that Paladin feels he is not accepted by either members of the team right now.
Can I rewind slightly? Because I don't feel like mine was a smackdown, right? I feel like mine was more like, do you remember old times kind of thing? Like, kind of a bit more friendlier than that.
You were telling them what to do and the image, and they shouldn't be a co-op, and so I think it sort of fits into that self-image. Sorry, to be clearer.
Just the way that the label shifting works, I don't think always has to be like you're a terrible person, you know?
Yeah, and equally, mine wasn't actually calling out Cyrus. Mine was definitely calling out Dynamic.
Yeah, I just think to say I want to because you felt the role. It is evoked an emotional response probably in Paladin.
So I think Paladin, like, having trouble finding himself between many points of views and ideas, he just says, "Fine, I'll go deal with it myself," and he just like goes off to capture, to attempt to grab Beatdown somewhere on the route to the skate park, because that seems like the best option. If we should not have a Beatdown in the park, let's grab her on the route and have the Beatdown somewhere else. Fine, I'll do it the correct way, my way, and then just like fire the grappling hook and off I go.
And as your reward for your failure there, Grey Ghost, when Paladin takes it that way and flips away, how are you feeling, and which condition would you like to mark?
I think I'm pretty hopeless at this point in time. We're never going to come together as a team.
Wait till Nox tells you what Kitty thinks about you.
Do you think I can actually get all 5 conditions marked before the end of the session?
I'm working on it.
I think there's that moment with Sparky and me on the roof, and I just turn and look to him. And, oh God, I've done it again. What can I say to get through to him? And I'm just saying it as a question out to the world. I'm not actually expecting an answer.
Sparky sort of looks back at you and says, "You sure have." It says, you two could try being kinder to them. He's a good kid with a pure heart. Maybe you could, figure out what's right for him rather than what's right for your two's power struggle in this team. And then Sparky leaps across the rooftop his way.
Wait a minute, you talk? And I think that's the last frame of that actual scene. It's just Izzy going, "What? You talk?"
Okay. Dynamic, were you going straight to the park?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted my team to be with me, but apparently my team doesn't have my back. Even Cyrus here, where is he? I thought we were in this together.
So before we cut to that scene, I just wanted to say, from Paladin's point of view, how do you think you're going to be able to catch or find Beatdown on their way there?
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't have a very good grip on this. So I think he would be just up on some high building, trying to observe and find Beatdown arriving before she gets to the what was it? I forgot. The skate park.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't really have a very good skill set to do it. So he just like up on the vantage point, observing, trying to find them, leaping left, right. Yeah, because he isn't sure whether they will be arriving the car, whether she's also like rooftopping there.
Can I
Cool.
just this, your whole remove. I see that you've got wonderful moves for removing civilians and stuff. I think the major thing is I didn't want you to show up before the fight, like kind of that this is a police scene already kind of thing. And also feel free to do tactical genius at any point in this thing. But
Yeah.
I feel like we're now separated in our, due to our drama, we are now no longer a unified front against this threat. We are now isolated.
I
Come
would
on,
also
it's-
like you
it's-
all to take a look back for the last sort of 30 minutes of roleplay and just double check your team moves, because I feel you're probably forgetting to check those and hit them. Because I think Paladin saying that this is something they believed in a cause, I think you probably just hit that with Grey Ghost. Grey Ghost, I think you probably were close to that with Paladin and Dynamic. So just take a look at your team moves to see if you did hit them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did not say that, I didn't really share my vulnerability about caring about Bluebird so much as just vent my frustrations with Izzy.
Yeah, I know. But I think Grey Ghost and Paladin probably did hit their team moves.
Yeah.
And Nox probably did with Kitty as well. So this is probably where you get the message over comms, Nox, that Dynamics off to confront Beatdown in the skate park. What's Nox's reaction?
So I hear that Dynamic is going to the skate park.
Yeah.
I'll probably show up there, assuming that everybody else will also be there. I'll probably invite Kitty along too, just as like a show of good faith.
That's a big step.
Cool. So, Dynamic, how do you arrive in the skate park? Frame that panel in the comic for us.
I think the lights around the skate park flicker and go dark, and then Dynamic walks. As they start to flicker back on, Dynamic is suddenly stood in the new spotlight, having dropped out of the sky and stood there. And I mean, this is the middle of the night, right? Like, it's really late, so there's not many people at the skate park. In fact, it's not, there's no kids, there's no nothing. The only people who are here are probably like people drinking, or maybe one or two, like, the rougher kids kind of thing. I just like nod at people in my like jacket, and I just go and like stand in the middle of the big bowl. You know what? I stand on the very top of the high half pipe, like looking down across, sat on the railing. And I look down at my phone and I see a message from Jeff saying, "Where you at?" And I turn it off.
You're turning your phone off, right? Cool.
Yeah. This is not the show. Whatever Izzy Grey Ghost thinks, this is not about the show or the ego or anything like that. It's just super fight time.
I think there were probably a few more kids here than you were expecting. But as you're, as if the neighborhood heard that something's about to go down here.
Well, I would like to, if they are my audience, I would like to seek help from my audience by asking them to back off and give me some space, because things are about to get dynamic around here, and they need to retreat to the edges of the lines.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Do roll to see how your audience reacts.
That is a 11. So I think the small demand could be perhaps in the sense of like they are backing off to be safe, but are probably hanging around to get a lot of shaky cell phone camera coverage of whatever happens.
Paladin, where are you in this scene? You've obviously come in separately at this point, but what is Paladin entering the scene going to look like?
Yeah, so I suppose having failed to notice Beatdown arriving anyhow, he probably is somewhere on the ground with Sparky giving him some dog sweets, and how do you say when you pet a dog? And petting Sparky behind the ears, and he's saying, "I don't know what happened there, Sparky, but you and we're gonna have to have a talk over a good bowl of meat. But right now I need you to support me and we need to be on top of the things. So I need to call this in, and we need to secure the area as much as possible. So yeah, I suppose I will call in the precinct to deploy some kind of get the people out of the zone.
Then you are using your additional resources, or actually no, you're invoking your authority over civilians.
I actually think I want to call in the precinct to deploy. What I'm kind of envisioning is that maybe I hit this 10+, and I want to get like a protective force field we can deploy around the skate park. But we will see what the precinct can offer. So I suppose I want to call in the precinct and say, precinct, this is Paladin. I need some equipment and some personnel to secure the skate park in the Tri-Town. There's gonna be a beatdown. We need to secure the civilians. What help can you provide?
So you're gonna roll with your soldier.
Yes, which is boosted to 10, to 3 plus 3. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, it's on 8 plus 3. It's 11. So we are getting some. The resources I have are highly classified or experimental. Take +1 on going to deploying them for the mission.
So you said you rolled an 8. You had +3 to it. So
yes,
which your total's 11, right? Got you.
Yes. Yeah. So I was hoping I was thinking about some experimental force field to block off the thing. But if you have something else in mind that they will provide me, I'm going to go with it as well.
I think they will say, look, we're gonna get everyone out of here. We're gonna protect the space, and we're gonna do what we can to control. I think some of them might sort of reflect back in some of Beatdown's sort of sonic and seismic energy blasts. He said, I'm afraid if we're going to do this, we're going to have to cross off B Street, 7th Street, and 4th Street. And once again, the forces of the people of Tri-Town are brought to a standstill and gridlock as a number of streets are closed by the team.
Awesome, thank you. I will keep you posted. And then I think I will also walk into the skate park.
He says, Billings B says, be safe, Paladin. She's not quite Titan material, but she's not an easy threat.
Roger that, Inspector. I'm here to make sure that the fight doesn't get out of hand.
Grey Ghost, are you going in alone, or are you waiting for Nox and Lux?
I think I'm waiting for Nox and Lux. And while I'm waiting, I'm hacking into all the security cameras again to try and actually get a view on Beatdown before she arrives and any other people that she's putting in place around the park. In fact, can I do a assess the situation to see if she
can
put anything in the park itself?
Yep.
Why did I have to mark guilty? This is twice now that I've marked a condition, and then the next move directly after is
Because you're a good role player and you love the pain.
Oh, okay. So the first one was the first time I did that was a 3. I rolled a double 1 last time.
Mm-hmm.
This time I rolled a double 2, so it's a 4. So no, I've missed it. So I've missed whatever's there, or misconstrued something there.
Cool. So do mark potential, and I say Nox and Lux arrive. Nox, anything you want to prepare before or say or do?
Well, it looks like we've got another fight a brewing. You ready to go in?
I'm whether I'm ready or not, it's going to happen anyway. I still think this is the wrong way to do it. Do you know he called her out?
He called who out?
Dynamic. This is all prearranged. She knows we're going to be here.
Sounds like dynamic. But I think that we need to trust him right now. You know, I think that we need to be there to support him. This is his battle, and we're his team. We support him. You know there would be no stopping you if the situation was reversed, right?
And I think his hand, her hand comes up to yours, and yeah. Or if anything happened, and I don't think I've seen Lux there yet because my back's to you. Or if anything happened to Kitty.
The response to that, as you do that, is Kitty leaps past you and says, "Get a room, you pair." And she hits the ground, and then the bottom of the escape partly, the sort of manhole covers erupt upwards, and floating up on a ball of sonic energy, we see Beatdown. She has Bluebird, who just looks quite battered, in her arms, going. She says, "Hey, Sparky, wait, Sparky the dog, or is that your code name?" And she's pointing at you, Dynamic. And said, "Both them animals." Sparky goes, "I beg your pardon."
As he stood next to
He's passed out to Paladin at that point. He said, "I'm far clever." No, anyway.
Yeah.
And said, "Oh, winner takes all, hey?" And Nox, you note that some of the kids nearby, the people in the park, right? They're either seniors or 1-year graduates. They're sort of people you know from school. They're not some of the highest academic achievers, and certainly troublemakers. He says, I brought some friends, and all of them who were there with their cameras out recording. They all pull on red hoods with a circle on, which identify them as member of the Red Ladies crew. He said, "And a backup," and then one of the girls, a woman in the park, she pulls down her hood. She is throws off a cape and has 2 swords attached to her back, and is wearing a white mask, very similar to the white mask that the White Rabbit would have worn. This one is, however, a cat mask, and she sort of looks over at Paladin and said, "You killed my father. Prepare to die."
Okay.
But I now think we are likely to be entering battle. as a team against a powerful foe. So we're adding 2 into the team to start with. I'm unless anyone disagrees, I think Dynamic is the leader at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you have influence over every other teammate, Dynamic?
I do.
That's one up. What's your purpose in this fight, Dynamic?
Save Bluebird.
Does anyone have a vastly different agenda in this fight?
Yeah.
Nope.
Protect the civilians.
To the point where the civilians are more important than getting Bluebird back?
Yes, because Gregor's pointed that out to me that this is fight in the middle of a living zone. So yes.
Then I don't believe your purpose is exactly the same, right? So I'm not going to give you that. Does any member of the team mistrust the leader of the team? Hi, Grey Ghost. Do you mistrust the leader of the team? Does anyone mistrust Dynamic at this point?
I don't agree with the way he's done it, but I know why he's doing it.
Okay, so you don't
So,
mistrust him. That's
no.
fine. Are you ill-prepared or off-balanced? Well, apparently Paladin has a sister, so I'm going to ask Paladin how they react to that. But I won't take your team off. So the team currently sits at 4.
Yeah, I think for Paladin it's again like shot inside the helmet like a Tony Stark, and I was like, wait, what? Get like yeah, this is a lot of surprises tonight for Paladin.
Now it's 12:10 now. Where I think we might be better in doing end of session moves and cool ourselves down today, and then hit straight into the fight at the start of next session is my probable plan, because I don't want to I think we might end up rushing it otherwise. Okay, so we turn the page of the comic where it says to be continued. And today's letter page in the Tri-Town Guardians is hosted by Sparky, and it is Learn to Spell with Sparky, who's got a greater vocabulary than at least 3 members of the team. Let's do our end of session moves and then some stars and wishes. So I'm going to go in reverse character keeper order and start that way today. So we are going to ask Paladin, do you grow close to the team, grow into an image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
Oh man, that's a difficult question. I don't think I have grown closer to the team. Or maybe. Wow. I don't know. Definitely not on image.
Then did you, because of have you, because your image has been challenged, I think, have you grown away from the team this time?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly, because Grey Ghost was pointing at Dynamic more than me, and then Dynamic reminded me that we used to do this thing this way. Gosh, it's such a hard choice.
I mean, you can always feel like you yourself grew past, now you're doing it the right way, right? And that's meaning you feel estranged from the team. Could be an option. which could be me, or it could even be Izzy, right? Because no matter what she says, it's definitely not do it for the cops, right? Don't see her putting a badge on anytime soon.
God no.
That's possibly grow away from the team or grow into your image of yourself. Because if Paladin feels, Paladin has made a difference using their legal powers tonight, right? So you could definitely say image, or you could definitely say you've grown away from the team.
Yeah. I think Paladin grows into his own image, saying that his team is still struggling with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So he tries to do the good thing, and has to try to prevent the extended casualties. So I'm actually going to say that he grows into his own image of himself, of him being the police officer and trying to protect the civilians, to narrow the possible casualties. So yeah, growing into his own image.
So you shift one label up and another down.
Yeah, I'm going to shift Savior up because that's my purpose over here. And Savior up. Danger down, because I'm actually here to bust the bad guys. I'm not here to destroy stuff. So I'm going to go freak -2.
Awesome. Grey Ghost.
Well, despite the words that were said to Dynamic, I don't think I've grown any further away from them, because I've fully admitted that if I was in that situation, I'll be doing exactly the same thing. And I don't think Dynamic, as opposed to Will, realizes that Grey Ghost actually does care what happens to Dynamic, and that's entirely why they're saying that. I think it's more a case of it's difficult because I need to separate here Izzy and Jem's relationship from the relationship with the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think Izzy and Jem had those wonderful moments earlier on. So in this case, I think I've grown more into my own image of myself rather than actually grown closer to the team.
Sweet. So again, same for you. Change your labels. Jem.
Yeah, I think Jen grew into their own image a little bit more this session. I think that they had to do a lot of just thinking about what kind of person they want to be, what kind of mistakes they don't want to make, and what they're going to need to do in order to keep that from happening.
Right. So same for you. You get to move to labels and dynamic.
Grew away from the team. Detached. Someone I care about is in trouble, and where were you when I needed you, and all of those things. And we're still on this, like, you have to hide in the shadows whilst they're running around in the daytime, destroying things. I definitely feel like I've removing any influence that the Grey Ghost has over me. And I did want to ask, I have that angry condition marked. Would my verbal smackdown to Isabella qualify as hurt someone? You're muted. Go.
Sorry, I thought I'd clicked it. From a character standpoint, yes, the whole where were you? You've let them down twice now thing. That was the stab through the heart. So it is up to David though.
I was going to say, as long as you feel because it's a character, that question felt I could literally hear your heart breaking, even though you were muted at the time, right? So I think it certainly counted for me.
Sweet, thank you.
So you lashed out verbally rather than lashed out physically.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely a case of I am pissed off
Yeah.
with you telling me
Yeah,
what to do.
hurt someone can be just being really downright, emotionally cruel as well.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's my end of session.
Then let's stars through. I think I started with dynamic last time first. I'm going to rotate through. I'm going to ask Lara to go first for stars today.
Cheers. Yeah. No, I had a lot of fun today. I really enjoyed some of Dynamic's lines. I wrote a couple of them down just because they made me laugh. I think you said something about something's gonna shine like the most polished thing in your toilet. And then there was the grabbing the tiger by the tail and give it a yank and see what shakes out when referring to our Tiger Man. And I just really liked that. So those little lines always give me such joy. So thank you for that, Will. And then I really enjoyed Isabella's in my scene at the beginning. I really thought that was great, and I thought we had a couple of really great gems in there. And yeah, I think there were a couple of times where I was about to get choked up, so I really enjoyed that. And then the club scene with Cyrus and coming in with the tailored suit and with super expensive, that detail just like put it over the top for me. Just this young kid who has access to way an obscene amount of money, and this is the way they're spending it. I just loved that detail so much, and I really enjoyed seeing Cyrus in the civilian light. I don't think that we get to see that much, and I really liked seeing that. And David, I really liked Tiger Man and all the stuff you did with Lux and with Sparky. And yeah, thank you guys. This is great.
Awesome. Gawain?
Wow, what a session. This session has literally been pure emotion. It has been, that whole thing in Passion de Personas where you process your feelings out loud. That's literally been the entire session. I have loved this. This is what I long for. This is what I hope for in roleplay. This is the sort of stuff that was missing from so many of my physical face-to-face tabletop games. Will, love you, absolutely love you, mate. We keep on saying for a long while that Dynamic and Izzy are very, very, very much alike, and they just won't admit it. They have in a lot of cases they have similar reactions, but at different ends of the scale, different end of the spectrum. Dynamic's doing exactly what Izzy would do in this situation, and I love the fact that Izzy is fighting back. I love the fact that you're making me fight back about that just to maintain the thing. You know how to hit all the pertinent emotional points when we're having our arguments, and it makes it so hard to argue against you at times, but oh my god, it leads to such good story. Powell, I love Cyrus. I love Paladin, but I think I love Cyrus more. Cyrus is the ultimate fanboy that's basically now living out that life. I love the fact that he's gone from this beacon to someone who's basically found his purpose and is now trying to actually deal with living with it and actually doing it. I just have so many good things to say about him, and on Laura. I mentioned before that Nox is the person that basically glues the team together. I may have misspoke slightly. I think Cyrus says that as well. But I accomplished something today that in 5 years of roleplay I've not managed to do. I've had one character tell another character that they've loved them, and I physically felt it. That whole scene on the actual rooftop afterwards, I could feel my throat cracking a little bit, and I was having an actual emotional response to it. Thank you for that. This is everything I've looking for in roleplay, and you three are some of the best people to tell the story with. And David, my God, how much do you want Izzy to suffer? And I love where this is going. I was wholly expecting to come in and try and take up the mentorship role on Lux, and I just love the fact that she doesn't like Izzy. I just love the whole conflicted family dynamic there. I love your world building as well, with the whole thing with tiger men in suits and crustaceans and and you
Awesome.
don't necessarily have to do a lot to get a lot of story out. And I think that's one of your key strengths. And I'm sorry, I'm just babbling on at this point.
It's all right, mate. Let's roll around to Pavel, and anything that you would like to. It's quite an emotional game, so I wanted to make sure we did have time to have a cool down. So that's why we had that. But Pavel, anything you would like to say?
It's hard to add anything on top of that. I really enjoyed slipping from the costume of Paladin into Cyrus, and man, it felt weird at the beginning, but it felt so good because I totally envision like Paladin like this like paragon lawful good character, and then Cyrus allows me to show him to be someone else than the Paladin is, and it was so fun and so interesting. I love this all the scenes with Gerwin and Laura, first talking about the emotional weakness and then trying to stop Kitty, even though she wasn't probably in big danger. It was probably maybe a bit misunderstanding. It was really cool. And then Kitty in the house. I loved all of this, and the dialogue was really on point. And all the little needles like ouch, they felt really strong, like stings, especially from Kitty. But it was really cool to see this family drama. Well, I hope we get the Bluebird back, because I would love to see. I'm looking forward to seeing dynamic relationship with Bluebird once we saved her. Hopefully, we'll save her. We'll see. It was really good to see us play together, because we are quite shattered team right now. It was really good to seeing us work in pairs. That's why it was really cool. David, there is so much stuff going on. Sparky talking, some mysterious would-be sisters appearing. There's so much new stuff going on in this in the season 2. I'm loving all of it.
Awesome. Well,
Sparky, finally, love it. The way we handle all of that. I love the emotional drama of all of it, particularly in the Barges household and between Lara and Izzy, and Izzy and everybody basically. I love again. I just want to say Cyrus is always great, and I love seeing Cyrus rather than and that whole kind of the Kilgore family thing, which I think exploded massively in this particular issue. And also, you know, the very different positions we all now have, perspectives on ultimately the same problem, is interesting. And those are my stars. Are we doing wishes as well?
Yeah, I mean, I hated it all. I don't think I ever want to roleplay with any of you ever again. No, it was awesome. Thank you from my side as well. I enjoyed having the foils and NPC scenes, even just the stuff with Billings being dynamic at the beginning, right? It was sort of your characters keep growing, and we've shifted the angle again, but it's great fun. Yeah, let's go back on wishes.
So
reverse order. So start with you, please, Will.
Cool. I would like like the fight to be about like saving Bluebird and stuff. I would like to have that kind of, some sort of moment. Perhaps the Scout Lady like gloats over like, the best the city has to offer kind of thing, and how you can't stop the Scarlet Lady and things like, some context beyond a personal squabble kind of stuff. And it would like in the long term, if as much as I love all the emotional drama and stuff, if Robbie Barges could not be blamed for following his wife's wishes to leave the house. Like, you abandoned your family by not digging your heels in and forcing them to live with you. And if maybe Nox was forced to confront some of that kind of tangled knot of I'm doing exactly what he did, and I don't even have the excuse of knowing that's what he was doing. Like, it's sort of retrospective justification, isn't it? I would like the Barges family to be slightly less broken by the end of our season, I think.
Yeah, I think we want to. That's hopefully we were laying because Lyra's wish last time was for something more human and that human side and that family drama. Right? We could just spend the next 4 sessions with the Barges families in therapy, right? That. I am really looking forward to Isabella finding out exactly what Kitty thinks of her, mind you, because that's going to be so much fun. For me, maybe not for Gerwin, certainly not for Isabella. Yes.
No, I love this. I love the amount of stuff that's going through at the moment, and
cool. I hope that people were going to be all right with that, because I thought otherwise Kitty becomes too much of a sidekick rather than a dimension in her own right. And I'm thinking like a teenager who's discovered powers, and then it's all gone a bit weird at home. She's got to find someone to blame, and she ain't going to blame her sister. She ain't going to blame her dad. So it's got to be the Grey Ghost's fault. Seemed about right now, anyway. Lara, any wishes for you?
More of the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to this fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
We've been emotional. I'm looking to let out some of this emotion in a physical way.
Lay the smack down. Right, okay. Gerwin?
Once this fight's over and done with, I'd actually like to have some time with us, allowing us to be normal people rather than superheroes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some slice of life stuff, and
yeah, I agree. Once we sort of de-escalated this, we need to have some time pass and pick up with the real world and your other sides of things as well. Pavel?
Anything special? Nothing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this epic fight. I hope we'll have someone to save other than this beat the hell out of the villains. Yeah, and I would really like to see my teammates to somehow remind Paladin that he doesn't have to call in every situation, and that he is the police officer, but he's also the superhero. And sometimes we need, like dynamic that he turned off the camera, he turned off the phone. This is like superhero beatdown time, not like go. So I would love to see some of you guys point out to Cyrus that he doesn't need to like be the police officer all the time when he's the Paladin. He's also the superhero in his own right. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see what Sparky has to say. Like, I'll be dying the entire next week. Like,
the emotional scene with Sparky and whatever he's got to tell you, right? That's definitely next. And I put my wishes like because a part of that civilian identity and the fallout has got to be the alderman that we introduced punching back into the game with civilian IDs. That's a wrap on issue 2 from us, dear viewers. We'll see you next time.